Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Look at this. Somebody come and look at this.
All praises, honor, and glory to the Most High, Ahaya Bashim Yeshaya. And peace and blessings to my brothers and sisters out there. I wanted to take a quick 15 minutes to drop another nugget that's going to be within the lesson on this quick hitter. I hope everybody's doing well. Shalom and blessings, Linda Rick and Rochelle, y'all daughter. But I have my brother Cleo here with me. But let's get into this real fast because I want to really get into it and drop this understanding of what is the last trump and how do we identify it. All right, so what do we know? We know that the scriptures within the KJV testify to an event that unfolds after the second Exodus that happens within the wilderness, right? And this event marks a major change within the spiritual, physical, and supernatural existence of Israel, in which they are elevated to a level of immortality. This change coincides with the spectacle that would bring joy to some and dread to others. As all the inhabitants of the earth witness Mashiach's coming in the clouds, this time is marked by the phrase, the day of the Lord and the last trump. All right, so what scriptures can we go to identify this? Well, one of the first scriptures I want to take you to is 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. And it says in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and 15, for we say unto you, by the word of the Most High, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Most High should not prevent them which are asleep. For the Master himself should descend from heaven with a shout, with a voice of the archangel, with the trump of the Most High. All right? And then it says, in the dead and Mashiach shall rise first. Now, what I want you to focus on is that trump of the Most High. Because 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 describes Mashiach's coming and the state of the Israelites, and the state of those of us that are alive and remain to the return or to the return of Mashiach will not prevent those that are asleep. Now, within the lesson, we're going to go a little bit deeper on what that means as far as them going to sleep. But the one phrase I want you to concentrate on is the trump of God. Because this will connect all the other phrases known as the last trump and the day of the Lord. All three of these phases mark the time of Mashiach's return, and as well as the time that the Most High's wrath will come upon the earth. Now, although I have not specified or stated that the sleep spoken of in the verses 15 is actually speaking of Israelites that are dead, it is my assumption that the verses afterwards will clarify that. So I'm going to move on to the next scripture, right? So we got 1 Thessalonians speaking about with the trump of God, right? Now we're going to move on to the first Corinthians chapter 15 and 51. Let's start. And it says, behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall be all changed. Right? And it says, in a moment, in a twinkling of the eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed. Right? It says, for this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. All right, so within these verses, and as we build the precepts, we figure out, or we're able to paint a picture of what the purpose of this transformation is. It's not just to purely become immortal. There's a reason why they're becoming immortal. There's a reason why this is bestowed upon them. All right. Now, the reason for that is actually revealed in the book of Joel. Now, what I want to say is this. When you look into the Oxford Dictionary on what it means to be incorruptible, The Oxford Dictionary actually gives two definitions for incorruptible. One pertains to the physical decay and the other one pertains to the moral compromission or the moral standing of a person. All right? But I don't want to go too far into that either because I don't want to reveal too much. What I want you to concentrate on is the last trump or the trumpet of God. Okay, they all connect to the book of Joel chapter 2. And it says, "Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spreads upon the mountain, a great people and a strong. There hath not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. And the land is as a garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them. The appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen so shall they run. Like the noise of chariots on top of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of a flame of fire that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array. Before their faces the people shall be much pain. All faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the walls like men of war. And they shall march everyone on his way. And they shall not break ranks. Neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk everyone in his path. And when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. All right. These are attributes of immortals. To not be wounded. All right. These are unkillable, undamageable, incorruptible bodies, glorified bodies that cannot be hurt. All right. And it goes on to say, I'm going to skip down. It says, and the Lord shall utter his voice before his army. For his camp is very great, and he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible, and who can abide in it? Now, one of the key events also that shows when this happens is actually in Joel chapter 2 and 10, and it says, the earth shall quake before them, the heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. This is something that would happen when these people are on the earth, right? Now, it's a dark thing, it's said, right? And the key words are stated, blow ye the trumpet. And we should all ask the question as to what trumpet. Yet the answer to the trumpet was given in 1 Thessalonians and 1 Corinthians. The trump of the Most High, the last trump. These two phrases are summed up in 5 words that leave no doubt to the level of impairment, and that is the day of the Lord. The book of Joel paints a picture of distress on the inhabitants of the land. But what land is mentioned, however, I don't know. All I can tell you is that whatever place this is at, this is definitely distress on the people. Now, to move up a little bit further, that time when it says the stars and the moon should be darkened, Matthew 24 and 29 gives us exactly when this will happen. It says immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun should be darkened, and the moon should not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. Now, what this is revealing is that once we're out of the wilderness, once we're out in the wilderness and we've been collected from the countries that we were scattered in, there will come a nation up against us, and at that point, the balance will be upset by the intervention of the Most High. And when he intervenes, this will mark the coming of Mashiach and the transformation of Israel, in which they are transformed from mortal to immortality. All right? So, the last trump. The last trump is summed up in 5 words. The day of the Lord. The wrath of the Most High. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion. Sound the alarm in my holy mountains. It is a trumpet being blown to signify wartime. That's what it is. War. All right? But that's all I want to say for this quick hitter. I don't know if the brother Cleo had anything he wanted to add before I get out of here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real brief. Peace and blessings to the family. Love you guys. Hope you guys are doing well and well refreshed. I'm going to go to Jeremiah 30:7, and it reads, "Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." So what that says is that this misnomer about Jacob's trouble and that Jacob is actually in trouble, this says that Jacob will be saved out of it. So Christianity is a lie because of what that says right there, number one. Also, you have to also consider when the book says day of the Lord is like 1,000 days, and 1,000 days, so on and so forth. You guys knows how that goes, but basically don't look at things as you were taught. Why do I say that? I'm going to take you to Daniel 12:4. "But thou, Daniel, shut the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end." The time that we are in now is the time of the end. And the book says, "Many shall run to and fro." But the key part about this particular precept is it says, "Knowledge shall be increased." The Most High has given certain individuals on this earth right now, and really all of us, and He has given us the ability to look at the book and be able to pull out these jewels that the brother's pulling out. So it will behoove everybody who's listening to this broadcast and other broadcasts of the brothers who are actually bringing truth with sincerity, and they're working in the aspect of bringing stuff in spirit and in truth. You need to take heed to this verse because there's a lot of knowledge coming out in this last time. But he said he would pour out his spirit on all flesh. And then I'm going to lastly take you to Thessalonians 5:21. Now, what I don't want you to do is take any man. Don't take my man's word, my word for it. Don't take my brother's word for it, even though you know we are operating in spirit and in truth and we love our people. But what I want you to do is go to Thessalonians 5:21. You prove this to yourself and see if it's so. What will bring with the information that's being brought? Do what the book says in Thessalonians 5:21. Prove all things. So you prove all things. You dig into the book and see if it's so, and hold fast to that which is good, because this is refreshing to the body of believers, which Mashiach's body is the Israelites. It's not Christianity. Amen. So I yield.
Amen. Great word, brother. All right, so I hope everybody's blessed. I hope everybody is safe. Be sure to pray for the brother Kadar and his family, and the brother Donovan Ben Judah for his loss. And with that being said, I want to say all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High.
God.
All right, and stay blessed, stay safe, walk in grace, walk in obedience, Israel. It's been another quick hitter. Shalom and blessings.